One of the interesting things about the credit crunch is it's a bit like Parliament at the moment. I knew what it was like for people who worked in banks to have stuff written about in the media. I knew Christians who were sitting in church and their vicars were saying how awful bankers are. I knew that a lot of people working in the financial industry weren't bankers. They're actually IT people, they were catering people, they were cleaners, all kinds of people, but got tarred with the same bus, and they got death threats. So sitting with that, and the people of faith said, but we want to do something, we want to make a difference. And I chatted to lots of people, and eventually we had a number of roundtable conversations. And to cut a very long story short, as Habib mentioned, out of it came a thing called the Common Faith Covenant for doing good business. Because people wanted to say, actually we are people who are valued, who have values, and we want to do the right things. And these are some of the things that inform what we do. And so the values that we came up with, we wanted to try to steer away from all the values that the banks were having, like the word integrity and everything else, but to come up with a similar thing. So we came up with 4 things. And the first thing was to live by principles of openness, fairness, mutual respect, and that wonderful word, stewardship. And when we talked about stewardship, the definition that we came up with, which we borrowed from Barclays, was actually leaving the world a better place than we found it. It's not about creating more, it's about making sure that we're looking after it and we're leaving it as a great place for the generations to come. The second thing was about treating people as you want to be treated. And that really is taken on from the golden rule, which is do unto others as you want to be done by. But actually taking it to the next step and thinking, actually it's not about doing unto others, how do I want to be treated? And that's how I should be treating other people. And we talked about the speaking out, having courage, if necessary, to speak up, but get your facts right first. It's always a good thing to do. And the other thing, as people of faith, we wanted people to know that we are accountable to a higher authority. We're accountable to God. And that's really important, because at the end of the day, we have to stand up and we have to account for the way we've behaved and the actions we've taken. And I do want to pick up just very briefly on the Edinburgh Finance Declaration and do a bit of a plug. Because one of the things that my team, Ibrahim and Moshe and I, have been thinking about quite a lot is the 6 values and what do they mean as we think about them together. And because the Ethical Finance Conference is also coming up next week in Edinburgh, we have done 6 very short 3.5-minute conversations, basically not doing a huge theological treatise, but just some ideas around what some of these things might look like. It's literally us drinking coffee together. The first one was released yesterday. We will continue to release them. And the 6 things are, very quickly, stewardship, love of neighbour, human flourishing, sustainability and purposefulness, justice and equity, common good. It's all about communities, people and relationships.